Hi, I'm Damari Gurry. You're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices, infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beet and thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Call now. Hello, everybody. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we're coming together to discuss everything Jamaican football related. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football. All right, guys? If you guys haven't already, I encourage you to hit the like button, and after hitting the like button, to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary as well. Ready up, morning, everybody. Be safe. Yes, very, very encouraging messages within the chat. It is a Monday morning, and it is the start of the new week, the first Monday in the month of February in 2024, and a great opportunity to be able to discuss more in this topic in particular. And I'm going to give an outline of what this will be about and what we can expect as well, and how we should be thinking moving forward as well. I'll start with my preamble by saying that what you do in the past has an impact. So for example, if you're eating 100 chocolate bars a day, in the future, you'll eventually see what that will do to your body mass. If somebody is avoiding carbohydrates for over a year, you'll also see the impact in relation to what that means. So what you do in the past has an impact on the present, if you understand exactly with what I'm saying. Mr. United, how are you doing, man? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm getting to that quite shortly. So remember, at the start of the 2023-2024 Concacaf Nations League, Jamaica was ranked 7th in CONCACAF behind Mexico, the United States, Costa Rica, Canada, Panama, Haiti. Remember, Mexico, the United States, Costa Rica, and Canada were quarterfinalists in the CONCACAF Nations League, so they did not participate within the cycle of the group stages of the Nations League. Jamaica did. Why? This stems from Jamaica not being ranked in the top four in the Nations League in that time frame. Jamaica has risen in the Concacaf rankings index, and Jamaica is sixth within this current index. Panama has moved up to third, while Canada has slipped to fourth within this index. Big up Cardington Grant. How are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Costa Rica has also slipped outside of the top four, as Costa Rica has slipped to fifth within this index in particular. Jamaica also are not too far behind Costa Rica as well when you factor in the quality points. Jamaica are 32 points behind Costa Rica in the CONCACAF rankings index, 32 points, but just one place, which means a victory in the CONCACAF Nations League for Jamaica and a Costa Rica loss to Honduras will culminate in Jamaica rising up to at least fifth in the next index, well, at the end of March. So that makes a massive impact where this is concerned. And that is why everybody should be embracing this and what this means for Jamaica as well, because what you do in the past affects the future. You understand what I'm saying? What happens in the past affects the future. How we do this year also affects what our seeding will be for the CONCACAF Nations League for the 2024-2025 cycle. The start of the 2024-2025 cycle of the CONCACAF Nations League is in September. And by virtue of how we do within the Nations League in March, World Cup qualifying, and also within the Copa America as well, will impact as well if we'll participate within the group stages of the CONCACAF Nations League come September and October, or if it means that we will be an automatic quarter finalist for November in 2024. That's how big this calendar year is. That's how big this trajectory of things is as well in relation to all of these factors. And that is why this in particular is extremely important for Jamaica. Tennessee Lewis, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody in the chat is understanding what I'm saying as well. If you guys have a question in relation to this, or you say, Simon, I'm lost, please explain this to me, then do let me know, okay? Do let me know and I'll be able to explain this for you guys as well, okay? So you see in the index, Mexico, the United States, Panama, Costa Rica, Canada, Jamaica. Now, for World Cup qualifying, remember, Mexico, the United States, and Canada are not going to be participating in World Cup qualifying. That means Panama, Costa Rica, and Jamaica are the three highest seeded teams within CONCACAF. So, with that being said now, that means that Jamaica are ranked third in CONCACAF for the course of World Cup qualifying. As you know, Jamaica was seeded in pot one for the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, which took place quite recently. Now, as a result of that, it means that Jamaica in the second round would avoid the likes of Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, Haiti, El Salvador. All right, good. I repeat again, what you do in the past affects the present. What you do in the past affects the present. So our performance within the second round of World Cup qualifying will also impact the third and final round as well, because by virtue of being able to register points, 12 points in the World Cup qualifiers in second round will impact the third round as well, because Jamaica will automatically be in pot one, and it also means avoiding certain teams as well. So that is why beating the Dominican Republic, beating Dominica, beating US Virgin Islands or the British Virgin Islands, and beating Guatemala is extremely crucial. There are four matches in the second round, six matches in the third round. So that means that Jamaica are 10 matches away. 10 matches away from the World Cup. Tom Stranger, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Remember the last World Cup qualifying cycle had 14 matches. Remember we had 7 matches at home and 7 matches away. This World Cup qualifying cycle, Jamaica will play 10 matches at most. If you're going to include the intercontinental playoffs, then you're looking at 11, max 12, because you'll have 1 or 2 games in the intercontinental playoffs. However, Jamaica is playing less games, even less games than the 98 campaign. Jamaica played Suriname, home and away, Barbados, home and away, that's 4. Then played St. Vincent, Honduras, and St. Vincent, Honduras, St. Vincent, Honduras, and Mexico, home and away. So 4 plus 6 is 10. And in the final round, 10 matches. 10 plus 10 is 20. So compared to the 1998 World Cup qualifying campaign, Jamaica is playing half the number of games. Rickman Hall, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Half the number of games. So when you factor in now, just in case you guys are tuning in into this video in particular, welcome aboard. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Jamaica in the Concacaf rankings index are 6th, and we're working on making the progress up in the rankings to continue this rise as well. So let's progress forward in terms of the topic I was saying. Jamaica played 10 matches in World Cup qualifying. 4 matches in the second round, 6 matches in the third round, all being well, we get through the second round. You understand what I'm saying, guys? 10 matches. 10 matches from a World Cup. You can count to 10 on 2 of your hands. Get 2 of your hands, right? 10 fingers. 10 matches. All right? 10 matches from the World Cup. Even less matches than before. The least number of matches that Jamaica will ever have to play to qualify for a World Cup. The least number of matches that Jamaica will ever have to play leading into a World Cup. That in itself speaks volumes about this. That's why this is critical and this is important. How we perform in the Nations League affects our seeding for the next Nations League cycle for the 2024-2025. Our performances in World Cup qualifying, Copa America, Nations League impact seedings and points as well. So remember, when we go back to the CONCACAF Nations League, many people are saying, why were Jamaica in League B of the Nations League when we took on Aruba and Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana? Well, it all stemmed from before that. Remember, we had matches against the Cayman Islands. We played against Bonaire, Suriname, and El Salvador. Jamaica had 3 wins, and El Salvador recorded a 2-0 triumph. As a result of that match against El Salvador, it meant that Jamaica would play in League B of the Nations League. So that is why every single game, every single competitive game is so important. Every competitive game, more points on offer in terms of what can lead to the FIFA rankings. Every single game has a massive, 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 massive reaction to what happens. It's needed. Thank you, Mr. Porton. It's getting 12 points from the second round. Very much so important. Very much so important. Because remember, in the third round, you're going to have 12 teams. Yes, you're going to have 12 teams. And what's going to happen, you're going to have pots. You're going to have 4 pots. And you're going to have pot 1 with 3 teams, pot 2 with 3 teams, pot 3 with 3 teams, pot 4 with 4 teams. And when you put that into 4, it means that there's going to be 2 teams that Jamaica will definitely avoid in the third round. So that's why it's incredible. Points and goal difference. Points and goal difference. Did you guys know that in the 1998 World Cup qualifying cycle and the 2010 World Cup qualifying cycle, Jamaica didn't concede a single goal at home? So in the 98 cycle, Suriname, Barbados, St. Vincent, Honduras, Mexico, USA, Canada, Costa Rica, Mexico, El Salvador. Not a single goal conceded at home. Let's go to the 2010 World Cup qualifying cycle. Clean sheet against Bahamas. Clean sheet against Mexico. Clean sheet against Honduras. And clean sheet against Canada. The 2010 World Cup qualifying cycle, Jamaica did not concede a single goal at home. The schedule for the show? What do you mean the schedule? The times, Ramoy Reed? Are they alerted in relation to when videos pop so you can immediately click that video when you see that notification? And that is how you're able to stay tuned and keep abreast of things. So let this be a reminder, guys, that the impact is big. It's all about ensuring now that the results are important. Think about the schedule that lies ahead. Okay, guys? Think about the schedule that lies ahead. And I'll draw this to your attention as well. The United States in the Nations League. In the final, it will be one of Panama or Mexico. Okay? Whatever happens, we're going to face one of Panama or Mexico. Whatever happens in the next game. Panama or Mexico. One of those teams we will play. Then come June, World Cup qualifying, the Dominican Republic and then Dominica. And then the Copa America group stages, Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela. From March 21 to June 30, that's 7 matches right there. 7 matches, 7 competitive matches as well. All very, very important. All very, very important. Keen. Vagina Moore says Jamaica Panama finals. That would be a good game. I would love that actually. Jamaica Panama final. I think that would be a good test. A really, really good test. To be honest with you, RR, no. MetLife Stadium for the World Cup final is not a bad location. One, a lot of Jamaicans live in the New York, New Jersey area. So I don't have any issue with that, with Jamaica having a long run in the competition. It's a big stadium, secondly. And thirdly, you have to think about the time zones of the Eastern world as well. Europe and the African continent. If they were to have the final in LA, which is the Western coast, that's 3-4 hours later that the European market would have to stay up to watch matches. But let's say you have a kickoff of 6 p.m. in New Jersey. That means it's an 11 p.m. kickoff in London, a midnight kickoff in Germany. So not 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning had it been in LA, for an example. So no, I don't have any problem at all in relation to that. It's very exciting to see the different venues as well because, as we know, there's a number of venues that have large pockets in relation to Jamaican communities. Miami, we all know already. Miami will be hosting the third place playoff. Yeah, Miami will host the third place playoff. So, can you imagine, guys? You can be on a plane. You could wake up tomorrow morning in Jamaica and say, you know what, I want to go watch a World Cup game. And in literally an hour and a half, you're at the World Cup. So that's just one of those exciting things. I understand what you're saying, RR. I understand what you're saying. In all of that factor, but Mexico is still a time zone. So that, yeah, you have to factor in the time zones. So again, for you guys, so that you are aware in relation to those venues. On the west side, LA, San Francisco, Seattle, and Vancouver. Central region, Guadalajara, Dallas, Houston, Kansas, Mexico City, and Monterrey. Eastern region, Atlanta, Toronto. If I'm being absolutely straightforward with you guys and honest, traffic. If I'm being absolutely straightforward with you guys, if there was one city that was not picked that I would have loved to have been there, honestly, it would have been Montreal, Canada. But apart from that, these are fantastic cities for games. Brilliant. Atlanta, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Boston. These are good venues. Good venues of games with Jamaican communities. Good venues for games. Fantastic places. Just think about it for a minute. Atlanta, Georgia, Boston, Massachusetts, Miami, Florida, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, and Toronto in Ontario. It's good. It's really, really good areas. And if you're going to nitpick at things, then you probably would say, okay, what about Montreal? That, for me, is the only thing to say. But I think everybody can be happy with the venues. Everybody. And I know many people have missed the information in relation to the match schedule, so I'll happily provide that. So that on the opening day, Mexico City will host the opening game. True, Chicago. I get that. I get that. So the Azteca will host the opening day. And the two matches will be played on the opening day. On day two, you're going to have two games, one including Canada in Toronto and the United States playing in Inglewood, California, in Los Angeles. Tyron Williams, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. And you know what's compelling about all of these guys is that the group stages, for a lot of them, you stay within that time zone. Bar Canada, that play the opening game in Toronto, and then they're heading west coast to Vancouver to play their other two games. So they play on the 12th and the 18th. So they travel the 13th and they're able to acclimatize and get accustomed to that time zone. You know. And then of course you have that round of 32. And that round of 32 has so much in store. Because you're gonna have plenty of games taking place at one time. Inglewood, California, Foxborough, and the Gillette Stadium in Massachusetts. It's just an amazing array of events. Quarterfinals, and you look at the venues that take place there. Boston, LA, Miami, Kansas, semifinals in Texas and Atlanta, third place playoff in Miami. So yeah. From the quarterfinals onwards, all games will be in the United States, East and West Coast. Round of 16, you have games that take place in Philly, in Houston, New Jersey, in Mexico, and also in Vancouver as well. You have a round of 16 game in Vancouver. Round of 32, you have games in Mexico. You have games in Toronto as well. Vancouver, Kansas. Quite spread out. Quite spread out around the board. So one thing for sure is that you have that diversity. Gate perks? Well, RR, I want you to go back to the video that I did all hands on deck and watch that. We have one World Cup qualifier this year. All right. As it stands, there's one game that will be in Jamaica this year, and that's against the Dominican Republic. So everybody should be taking out their phones and putting a marker that June 6, 2024, the only thing that should be on their mind is Jamaica against the Dominican Republic. That should be on everybody's mind. Okay? Everybody understand that? Because that is a special day. That is the start of our World Cup qualifying campaign. That is the day when everything begins. That is the day. Father Bling, how are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. In case you're just joining, guys, please hit the like button And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary as well. Okay, guys? Jamaica, as it stands, sixth within Concacaf, but making strides each and every single day. Important, vital, and something that we should all embrace, shouldn't it? Well, it should be. It should be. Have you guys hit the like button? Have you guys hit the subscribe button? Jason Guna, how are you doing, sir? All is well? How are things? Well, for those of you that have just joined in, I'll recap for you guys as well so that you guys are understanding everything of what I've just said so that you can be able to get the gist of what I'm saying. I put on the screen the latest CONCACAF rankings index, and I made the point how that the past also impacts the present and why the results in the competitive games are incredibly important moving forward, because that in itself affects seedings and points for future events as well. This affects the future, and that's why it is incredibly important why the results are key in these competitive games. I also made a mention about the points in relation to the World Cup for 2026, as the venues and the schedule has been released. Okay, it has been released, and as you can see by the wide array of how the United States is, it's balanced with games West Coast, East Coast. And just to provide a little bit of context in relation to this matter in particular, the United States will host 78 matches, while Canada and Mexico will host 13 matches each. All right. Host cities were geographically grouped to optimize travel for teams and fans, except Canada and the opening game, which is in Toronto. 4 out of 12 groups were allocated for the central region with 24 matches, 3 groups in the western region, and the rest in the eastern region, with a shared region group with Canada. Cities were split into 3 regions: the western region, which of course is Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, and LA; the central region, Guadalajara, Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, Monterrey, Houston, Dallas, Kansas City; and of course the east, Atlanta, Miami, Toronto, Boston, Philly, New York, New Jersey. All right, you guys get the drift there. You're going to have a day where you have 4 games taking place. You're going to have days where you have 4 games in a day. That's going to be an exciting thing to look forward to. Yeah. All the way up to the 27th when you factor in what will be quite compelling. You're going to have 12 groups, 4 teams in those 12 groups. That's 48 teams. All right, the top 2 teams from each group advances to the round of 32 alongside the 8 best third-place teams. This is new. This is for the first time since 1994 World Cup that you're going to have a best third-place team advancing. For me, I prefer the symmetry of having a situation where top 2 advance. If you're third in your group, you're out. But this is the format that we have. But if the World Cup expands to 64 teams, then we're looking at something mega, because you can have a situation where you go down to a round of 32, 16, 8, etc., etc. Yeah. I'm Maxit. How are you doing, JD? All right, guys, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and share to this channel so that you guys can stay more involved with the video. Just joking around, JD. All right, so it's going to take time, JD. You see, the thing is, Costa Rica and Canada, they have lost a lot of quality points by virtue of their results in the Nations League. Costa Rica, obviously, against Panama, and of course, Canada against Jamaica. So the gap is getting tighter if you actually look at the points between Jamaica, Costa Rica, and Canada. So with all of this being said now, what it means now is that in the upcoming Nations League games against the United States, and whoever may be in the final or third place playoff, that the win is there, because that will determine what this will look like at the end of March. And of course, getting results against the Dominican Republic and Dominica will also impact that as well come June. So that is why this is extremely important moving forward, so that everybody can get the full gist of things. If everybody doesn't understand what I've just said, then please go ahead and ask the question. I'm here to clarify if you do have a question in this, okay? If you do have a question, then do let me know so that we can be able to progress forward. All right, because this is important. Okay. Yep, this is key so that everybody understands the full drift of things. You know? Yes, man. No problem. No problem, JD. How are things, JD? All is well with the family? Yes, man. One day at a time, everything falls into place in time. Yeah. But yeah, hope you guys get the drift of things. Where are you guys watching this video from? It's a very overcast and rainy day in St. Andrew, Jamaica. I can tell you right now, it's quite a overcast day. You think that you're in Newcastle, England. When you look outside of your window and you look outside, you see a lot of rain everywhere, absolutely everywhere. When you go from 7 o'clock this morning, it's just has been a constant downpour of rain. But we'll see what will happen later today. I fully expect the Premier League games to take center stage as well, in the Jamaica Premier League games at 5 and 7 later today. I expect it. Yes, we're great. Just working on the computer. All right. JD, the man who can balance the all rounder, work and type. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good, man. Really, really good to hear from you guys. And I hope that you're doing good. It's a windy, cold, and rainy day in Georgia. Really? I will take the cold. I'll take the cold. I'll take the cold, honestly. A lot of people might find me a bit bizarre for saying it, but I actually prefer the cold than the heat. So actually, being in Toronto in November for the Nations League tie against Canada, -6 degrees, for me, it didn't bite. I wasn't like, oh my God, it's cold. I actually embrace it. So that is why I actually like it. Heat, not for me. But I mean, I've been enduring it the past couple of decades. But it is what it is. All right. A lot of screens. All right. Father blinks arena wash for St. James. What? What you saying to me? St. James, it's raining. Greenwood St. James, Mobile St. James. Rain is falling. Okay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Here you guys, man. I get you. I get the gist of things. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, yes, yes. So this is what is showing you guys the Concacaf rankings index. In relation to the women's side of things, right now Jamaica are fourth in CONCACAF. In relation to the club ranking index now, Mount Pleasant Academy is Jamaica's highest ranked club in the CONCACAF club ranking index at 101 in the CONCACAF region. Violet of Haiti 70th, Cibao of the Dominican Republic 91st, and Robin Hood are 99th in this index. All right. What about the league? The league, where does the JPL stand? Well, when we look at the CONCACAF region, Liga MX is ranked the number one league within the CONCACAF region. Major League Soccer is ranked number 2. The Honduran League is ranked number 3. The Costa Rican League is number 4. The Guatemalan League is number 5. The Canadian Premier League is number 6. Panamanian League is number 7. The El Salvadorian League is number 8. The Nicaraguan League is 9th. And the Jamaica Premier League is number 10. The highest ranked league in the Caribbean is the Jamaica Premier League. All right, guys. So there we go from that sort of standpoint so that you all understand this a little bit clearly and can understand that. Okay, good. Reina, Washua, Portland, St. Thomas, and Kingston part the East Nanamal. Wow. I hear you, I get you. I get you. I understand exactly what you mean there. So, but there we go, folks. There we go in relation to this information that I've shared. I hope you guys benefited from this information. I hope you guys learned a little bit more. I hope you guys have been hitting the like button and subscribing as well, because this is very important as well. This is how we're going to grow the platform, grow the information so that you all can benefit. You know what I'm saying? So very important. John Powell, how are you doing, man? Hope you are doing well. Hope the family is doing okay as well. All right. So, guys, I encourage you to hit the like button. I encourage you to hit the subscribe button as well, because the channel can grow. And don't forget, guys, everything falls into place in time. What do we have to do to make the World Cup? Well, in order to make the World Cup savage 1876, we need to, first of all, we need to finish in the top two in the second round to advance to the third round. And in the third round, we need to finish at the top of the group in order to qualify for the World Cup. By finishing at the top of the group in the third round, we qualify for the World Cup. The two best second place teams in the third round will head to the Intercontinental playoffs. Okay, guys, so that gives a little bit of clarity to these things so that you understand it a little bit better and you guys can embrace it more in this information. Okay, guys? Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button so we can have more of this. Okay, guys? Really, really appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Damari Gray. You're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beaten thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454.
Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.